Hey guys, it's Zach from Us versus Herd, coming back today with another video. So what I want to talk about today is the best apps to help you manage your money. So what I mean by that is in the realm of personal finance, there are a lot of apps that people have created to help you manage your money a little easier and a little better. This can go from just budgeting all the way to investing, all the way into holding stocks, whatever you'd like. So I'm going to go through a couple of the hottest crazes. These are free for the most part, as long as some of you have to put money into. Obviously, if you're investing, you're gonna have to put money into it. If it's a budgeting tool like the one I'm gonna talk about today is called Mint. It's gonna be free. All you gotta do is just sign up. So these are apps that you can use. So I'm gonna go through some of their websites and explain to you kind of what they are and what they do and how I feel they are applicable to people who need help with investing or budgeting or however. So this is called Mint. This is like a budgeting kind of tool, I would say. It syncs up to all your banks. You're online if you have multiple banks or credit cards or whatever. It basically takes all those accounts and syncs them and puts them into one spot, and then it shows how much money you have versus how much money you owe. So that'd be like debt, for example, if you have credit card debt or loan debt. Basically, what it's going to do is that it's going to take all the accounts and see how much money you have, how much you owe, and it'll show you your net worth, it'll show you your credit score, it'll give you monitoring. So let's go through it a little bit. So it's created for budgets. It's a budget app. So it says easily create budgets and see our suggestions based on your spending. So it'll give you kind of a little bit of hints on what you should be doing to improve your saving. So for example, if it notices that you're spending too much money, if you set a goal for, let's say, $15 a week on coffee and you spend 20, it's going to give you ways to cut back on that budget because you've exceeded what you've set for yourself. And there's a few other things here. It shows all your bills, so you can enter in every bill you have monthly and see how much money it'll show you visually how much money you have exactly and how much you have leaving that month. So how much you're paying that month. So you'll be able to see how much you're spending, if you're going over, if you're going under, how much you're saving, all that good stuff. It also shows you your credit score here. So it checks your credit score and it doesn't affect your credit score in any way just by giving you the score. So basically it also acts as kind of like a credit score adjuster because you can use it as a tool to watch your credit score, and then you can make the adjustments to help your credit score go up. And it'll also give you all the specs on your credit score as well. So here we are. Here it says, stay on top of your bills. So you can, like I said, you can put in all your bills in one place. See bills and money in one place. They'll give you alerts and schedule payments on the spot if you like. This helps you avoid late fees. This is a really good tool, I feel, because it shows you your exact budget. So for example, if you create a budget on here, which I highly recommend that you do, take the time, figure out what's a fair amount to spend on certain items. So like, for example, they have gas and fuel, coffee shops, groceries, restaurant, clothing, for example. And this is all monthly. This is all based on a monthly basis. So if you take the time and just see what you've kind of spent and what you need to do in order to save money, then make the budget based on how much you want to save. So if you want to save a whole lot of money on coffee shops, make a budget and it'll show you exactly how far you are to that goal. And if you've gone over, it'll show you how much that by these progression bars. So I really think that you guys should take the time and make a budget on here. It doesn't take long. It really doesn't. I think that it took me maybe 15 minutes, if even that, to set up the whole account. Like I said, you can get all your payments in one place and it shows you how much you owe and how much you're making that month. It kind of takes what you've been paid, and then it averages out to how much you'll need to not be paying in bills to save money each month. It also gives you some security things like this. So this is built by Intuit. So they also have Intuit also makes tax software. So for your taxes, they have some TurboTax, I'm pretty sure, is owned by Intuit. So they have the suggestions down here. So even with all the information in one place, at the end of the year, if you want to file taxes, you could do it yourself as well through their software. So it kind of keeps all your finances in one place, keeps them digital, keeps them on your phone, and keeps them ready and accessible for you. So that's my first choice app for budgeting. I'm going to go on to another one that everyone knows about. It's called Robinhood. Everybody likes Robinhood. Most millennials use it. It's a free stock trading app, but there are restrictions to what you can and can't do. For example, you can't short any stock on Robinhood, you can only buy it. So this is why I'm including it. I don't necessarily think it's a great trading app because it limits the amount of trades or what kind of trades you can do. The reason why I included it is because that I think it's a really good tool to have because one, it's free, and two, you can buy anything, any kind of shares ready available at your fingertips. But what I think it's best used for is long-term investments. So for example, if you think that you want to buy Tesla right now because you think it's going to be really good in the next 5 to 10 years, I think that this app is great for that. This app is absolutely great for buying a stock and then holding it and letting your account grow, letting your brokerage account grow. I don't think it's good for day trading. It is free commissions, but I don't think that it's built for day trading. I don't think that it does it justice. I don't think it's fast enough. I don't think, I just don't think that's worth it. After I used Robinhood for that's the very first time I started trading. I started trading penny stocks on Robinhood. I no longer do that. I trade options, stock options on Tastyworks, or we use Think or Swim or whatever. But right now, I'd say Robinhood is a really good app for people who are kind of new to investing. It makes it pretty easy for you to learn how to buy and sell stock. You can't short any stock. So like I said, this is a good app for buying stock and letting it ride for a long period of time as an investment. This is not like a buy 5 shares of Amazon and sell it in 3 weeks. This is not what this is made for. You're not going to make a lot of money on that at all. You're going to be risking a lot of capital. It's just not worth it. So this app is really good for buying and selling stocks. Like I said, it's kind of like a beginner's version of stocks, of selling stocks and buying stocks. It's very, very cut and dry. It's very easy, and you can see everything in one place. It shows you can see right here how easy it is to use. It's very, very visually appealing. It's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It has a good design. It's easy to use. I think that it's going to be really good for people who are just starting out to learn how to invest money. And then you can see how much you lost, how much you made, what percentage you made, what stocks are performing, what stocks aren't performing. It makes all that really easy. And, it's free, so you don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you have to worry about is funding your account. You don't have to worry about anything else. They don't take any commissions or anything like that. Same with Mint, just so you know. Mint doesn't take anything commission-wise for using a budget app at all. So that's why I added Robinhood. I know that it's not the best stock trading app because I would use it more as an investing app. The next two I'm going to talk about here are pretty similar to each other. So I'm going to work it down first. Let's do Acorns. So Acorns is like an app that when you purchase something, you can invest your spare change on it. You can round up, and then you can invest the spare change into an ETF. So what an ETF is an exchange traded fund. Basically, it's a collection of stocks and bonds. So what they do is they take your remaining change. So let's say you bought something for $1.20. They would round it up to $2 and they'd take the 80 cents. So you pay a little bit more. They take the 80 cents and they would invest that into an ETF. So they would they would split up your money into different ETFs, and based on what you want, so you want to have a slow approach or you want to have an aggressive approach, you can select that, and then you can have better returns or slow returns or whatever you like based on how much risk you want to take. There's always risk in any of these because technically that you're still putting money on the line and you could still lose money if the stock market doesn't perform the way that it should. But it's slow money and it's pretty much guaranteed, but it's not a lot of money. You're not going to be making a ton. This is more for the passive investor, someone who wants a way to be able to, every time they buy something, to be able to invest some money back into their future. It's not going to give you, a massive account unless you're putting in a lot of money, and that you're, regularly depositing money and regularly investing money into it, and you have the right selection of ETFs that are growing at a good pace. It's going to be difficult for you to make a lot of return on this, but it's still going to give you some return, and that's better than nothing. So if you have your money sitting in a bank and not getting any interest, you might as well just put it into something like Acorns, or what I want to talk about next is Stash, and at least make something on it. At least let the appreciation happen, because there isn't any appreciation anymore for bank accounts like savings accounts. So basically, like I said, how this works is they just take your money, and every time you buy something, they would round it up, and they would take the difference between how much it costs and how much they rounded up to, and they would invest it into an ETF. And then they would split that up between different ETFs, and that you would make a return based on how that ETF performs. It's pretty easy. It's pretty cut and dry. You can invest as little as $1 a month if you like. So they don't really take anything crazy. You can put in a little bit amount of money and not spend a lot of money in commissions. I do believe they take a small commission here. Was it 0.25%? That's not bad. So 1/4% is what they would take. So it's not bad at all. You can see on the website that all these websites are very, very, very similar. If you notice that, look at this. Look how similar these are. Okay. Anyways, all of these apps are very, very good, and I would recommend them even if you're not gonna be a serious investor where you're spending a lot of your time working on it. If you're just a passive investor, then Acorns is definitely for you. You link your card up, and every time you spend money, you can put that money somewhere and put it to good use. The spare change. So I recommend this for someone who doesn't really understand investing as much and is really, really beginner. I would say that even more beginner than Robinhood for sure. So that's Acorns. Let's go to Stash. It's a little different. So Stash does pretty much the same thing, except they don't invest spare change. What they do instead is they take money that you deposit and they put it into ETFs that you select. So you select what kind of ETFs you would like. So they want you to invest in stocks that or into ETFs that you believe in, into sectors that you believe in. Like for example, they have like the tech sector, they have Defending America, they have stuff like that. Like I said, you put money in every month. So what they recommend that you do is that you put in a deposit automatically every month, like $5 to $10 to $20. Obviously, the more money you put in every month, the more return you're going to get because you have more money to invest. So they recommend that you do something like that. What they do is they take your money and they put it into ETFs, just like Acorns, except you don't invest any spare change. You have to put all the money in your own without spending anything on, they don't round up on any items that you're purchasing, and they don't invest that spare change. What they do is you just got to put all the money in at once, and then over time you would put in $5 every month or whatever, and it would grow. You can put in I don't know if their minimum is, but you can put in a little bit of money, and then you can let it see how it goes and let it ride. You could put in $20 and see how it goes. But like I said, it's pretty easy. Let's take a look at their pricing. Okay, so it's again $1 a month, just like Acorns. It's very similar, and then 0.25% if your account is over $5,000. So that's pretty good actually. Those commissions aren't too bad at all. And like I said, they have the auto stash and all these things that you can do. I think that this is also a good app for beginners. Like I said, it depends on your structure and how you want to do it. This is for I would say it's the more intermediate version of Acorns because it doesn't do it by itself. You don't spend money and then it takes the spare change and then invests it for you. You have to kind of take the initiative of putting the money in and then investing it in something that you like. So you kind of have to do a little bit of research on that end. So I would say that in order it would go Mint is for everybody as a budget. It's very easy. It's very entry level. Then Acorns as the entry level kind of investor who needs to know how to manage their money a little better, who wants to just invest for the future no matter how little the return is. Stash, I would say, is second. It's more intermediate. You got to kind of look up what things are performing, what's going to do well in the next few years, what sectors. You got to learn a little bit about the investing process. You can't just go in blind. I would say that's the next level, and I would say the last and final level is Robinhood, where, like I said, this is for beginners. So not talking about overall, but for beginners, Robinhood is probably the last app that I would go to, but it really helps you to invest in stocks directly for free. So I would say that it's a really good app to use, and it's probably the more harder of the four apps to use. That's why I would put it last as something that you wouldn't necessarily start with. It's something that you probably build up to if you're looking to buy and sell stock and hold stock. But like I said, I would use it just for buying stock and holding it. I wouldn't do it for anything like that. All right, so if you guys like the video, please comment and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. We will get to we will answer your questions. We have content coming out all the time. I really appreciate if you guys leave a like for us and please subscribe. Remember, it's always us versus herd, so join us.